Annyeonghaseyo. It is Funds from Makeup Funds, and I hope you are having a wonderful day, night, afternoon so far. Let's just get straight into it. We're going to be talking about Starship's potential new group, possibly containing some rookies that will be members formerly from the group FAYZED. So let's just get straight into it. We're going to be talking about their success and what their debut might be like. Yes, these are a little bit fickle. So what's strange to me is that I normally tend to pick up on things immediately as I begin to shuffle, but there seems to be not very much there, which is giving me the impression that it's very likely that we are not going to be hearing much from their camp until they just put them out there. Let's talk about what's going to happen or what their debut might look like. 5 of Pentacles, reverse the Fool, reverse 8 of Wands, 5 of Wands overall, bottom 4 of Swords. Peeking out is the Empress and the World reverse. So this feels to me, to be quite frank, is that their debut is going to be a bit of a struggle. It's not going to be meeting the numbers that were expected of them. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad thing anyway, just because they're debuting. That's the first time the world will see what they have to offer as a whole. So it seems to me that their debut was probably heavily planned and calculated, almost overly so. I feel like their rookies, trainees are gonna be working really hard for it, except... not to be controversial, but it seems like they were expecting them to be crazily well received right out of the gate, and that's gonna kind of lead to feeling their toes were a bit stepped on. I'm getting the energy and impression that there are gonna be at least some members of this group that have had enough from past experiences and where they've been, and unfortunately that's possibly gonna show either in them either speaking candidly about it, or through something of them expressing that, or some place or medium that we will be able to see it through their debut. However, they're gonna be super active on social media, possibly, or things are gonna get moving quickly for them as they progress from their debut. But when it comes to social media, I honestly feel like this 8 of Wands is telling me that they're going to be very active once they come out and show themselves to the world. Overall, bottom 4 of Swords. This tells me that once that debut promotional period is over, it's gonna be kind of like there's just complete radio silence. It's gonna be like, where are the girls at? Where did they go? Do we need to put up a missing persons report, an Amber Alert, because what happened? Where'd they go? The Empress tells me that they are probably going to have some pretty unique, original kind of idea or vibe, or a different spin on something that has already been done before, that's gonna give it a very fresh and different feeling. But like I said, it's quite possible that their debut is not going to hit as big as expected. That is on that. Let's get into what their successes in the future may be like as a small general. Of course, naturally, upon request, or if anyone's interested as they go along, I will give them a further, more detailed breakdown. So as for their general success, I'm not gonna lie to you, it feels like a bit of a mess. It seems that their debut, even though it was probably very planned, I feel like they should have waited, or it should have pushed it back more. 3 of Swords, Knight of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, overall bottom Hangman. Peeking out is the 5 of Wands, Chariot, and Queen of Cups. So it seems like at some point they're not going to be super communicative. How do I put this in a way that it seems like Starship's approach to them and their success is going to be very much that of the older way companies used to operate. This is me yet again discussing how I am an old head in the game, but let me talk to you about it a little bit before we delve deeper into what their success is going to be like. So to put it in a way that there was a time in K-pop that social media was not the biggest tool or asset for soloists or idols or solo groups or even actors as of now. that's also part of why that it's such a big deal that they get their own personal social media, or just like a social media as a group to promote themselves to reach other audiences. It was just kind of a thing that like fans would keep up with what their faves do no matter what. Like, you know, if their fave is drinking water in the background of like a movie, all their fans go to watch that movie just to see that 10 seconds. Nowadays, everything moves differently, naturally. Social media is not only a way to continue to almost in a way directly engage with fans, but also to promote themselves to others, like I just said. And it's giving me that Starship might just forget that social media could be the biggest tool or asset to keep pushing this group forward, and they're not going to be giving as much when it comes to just general communication wise, getting to know the girls, and possibly with their social media platforms and contents, etc., which could be one of the biggest inhibitors of their potential growth. It also just feels like they didn't really get the best, like, you know, part of the batch when it comes to starting anyway. Back to the cards. So like I said, their communication with them is going to be a bit difficult. They're going to be very ambitious, and that's not necessarily going to like say that they won't succeed or won't pull millions naturally, because, you know, Starship's not like a baby company. If they were, then like, you know, I would honestly say that this group wouldn't last. To be honest, this group doesn't seem like it's going to last very long. When it comes to the, I guess, age of K-pop groups, they don't seem like they're going to be some sort of forever hanging entity. I don't know if I would say they're going to like disband quickly, but they don't seem like they would last beyond a first contract period. Ten of Pentacles tells me here that they're gonna steady continuing what they're doing. So what like they give to us, expect to see among the same things over and over again when it comes to variety of contents, or, you know, doing something new. It might take them a minute to break out of their normal routine just to give us something different. But if you're the type of person that you go to a restaurant and you eat the same thing every time, and you don't really always particularly have the plan to try something new, this group might be really great for you because you always know what to expect. This is definitely not me dogging on the group, trust me, because I do see that there are going to be some real go-getters that will benefit from even being in the group, period. Six of Pentacles, it tells me that a lot of their help or success could come from the connections of other people and other people having hands in that pot specifically, just, you know, help them out, boost them, or listen to them, etc. So worry not too much about that. Overall, bottom, the Hanged Man tells me that they are likely, if they manage to grow so far, naturally they might. They are probably going to be stuck at being, I would say, not necessarily a mid-tier group, because, you know, like, it's not that, you know, mid-tier groups are worse than higher tier groups in terms of numbers, but they seem like they're going to be stuck in that middle ground, or rather, to be more specific, they feel like they're going to have their own lane. They're not going to be necessarily lumped in with this newer generation that's constantly competing and fighting with each other to, like, you know, top each other. They're going to be in their own lane, their own genre, maybe music wise, concept wise. They're doing their own thing. So their fandom is going to be probably and possibly very niche, and that's going to be their bubble. Yeah, like I'm saying, they're probably just going to keep doing their own thing because, like I said, peeking out Chariot, Queen of Cups, the people who know and understand them are going to know and understand them. Others may know of them, but unless you stand them, you're probably not going to be hearing a whole lot about it. I mean, it's not like it's anything super new that we've seen from Starship. Yet again, this is not a roast. This is not me trying to be a shady little lady. But, you know, Monsta X is up there in the, like, with the gang. You know what I mean? They're up there. Numbers wise, everything. They're up there. But when it comes to their music, their concept, and their audience, they're in a different lane than everyone else. Same thing with, like, their other younger boy group, Gravity. Or Gravity? You know, yeah. Anyway, they're in their own lane. Like, yes, whenever you're calling to mind, like, the generations, like, oh, this generation of groups, you can, like, be like, including Monsta X, etc., etc. But like when it comes to genre-wise, audience-wise, you don't mix them. You don't. That's not a bad thing though. That could give them some solidity in life, longevity. That's the word. But it feels like to me that let's just say that they're not going to be like the next girls' generation. No, I mean, you know what? Let me stop right there because nobody on this planet could ever be Miss Girls' Generation. Nobody could be the next CLC, but they can be the next them. That is on that for me though, guys. I don't know what I was expecting, but then again, you're supposed to approach, or you should, or it would be nice for people to approach their readings without any specific biases or assumptions. But that is on that. I am done. If you can't get down with the get down, don't get down with friends. Annyeong.